On this episode of Game Shack, Cyber Monday is here and I have the last minute deals you can pick up right now. Let's talk about the lack of sales on Black Friday and Cyber Monday and what this might mean for the home arcade scene coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome on back into the Game Shack. I'm your host, JDV for Evil Genius Entertainment. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did. I gained some weight, so if I seem a little bit more porculent than normal, that's probably why. Look, if you guys want to keep seeing great gaming content on this channel, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help the channel out when you do that. You are the primary sponsors of this channel. You can really help me out by buying a coffee or supporting any of the affiliate links. Speaking of which, if you want to save 50 bucks on that Sea of Thieves pinball table from At Games, which is released towards the end of December, you can use that little code down below and you save 50 bucks on that. Again, thank you for everyone who does support the channel by giving me likes and subscribing. Let's get into the sales that you might want to be able to pick up today. And primarily that's going to be on the Pong pub table. You can get that for $2.99 either at Best Buy or Kohl's, but with Kohl's, if you have their credit card and use their Kohl's cash, just down to $2.09. That is easily the best price I've ever seen for that Pong pub table. That is a really good deal on that. That's something that I've always wanted, but I just don't really have the space for it here in the Game Shack, but that is a good price if you want to pick up that now 3-year-old cab. Kohl's is actually having a big old sale, 20% off, just Cyber Monday on everything. Plus, I think they're giving you an extra $10 back. So Kohl's is probably the place that you want to pick up any of these things. You can see here the sales really aren't that great at Kohl's or Best Buy or even at Walmart. They're just, I mean, the deluxes have gone back up to $4.99, which doesn't make any sense at all to me, especially on Cyber Monday, but there you go. I mean, NBA Jam, I think is $4.29, $4.25, something like that. You know, the Slim Katie version of it. Again, not a killer price. If that was $3.29, that might be something to take a look at, but at that price, I'm not that interested in it. The Toy Shock virtual pinball game in the black hole skin is still for sale for $3.75. I do think that is a good deal, especially if you are somebody who just wants to dip their toe into the virtual pinball waters without actually getting absolutely soaked. So what does it mean then that there haven't been any kind of great sales? Well, it's kind of unreasonable to expect a lot of sales from killer sales from At Games because this product is essentially brand new. Heck, Sea of Thieves, the game I mentioned earlier, isn't even been released yet. So it's kind of hard to expect to have really killer sales on that virtual pinball game when it hasn't been out for a long time. Now the ALU, I would have liked to have seen a nicer price on that just to maybe get more feet in the door. The ALU is still the king of the multi-cades as far as I'm concerned. But again, it was brand new. It just came out, well, within the last few weeks, right? So maybe a little unreasonable to expect to see a killer sale on that. But I would like to have seen it go down maybe 75 bucks just to, again, try to get some people in the door. But the motivation for lack of sales from Arcade 1-Up is a little tougher to follow. They've always had the ping pong type of pricing where they have very high pricing, then very low aggressive pricing, and everything in between. So not to see any kind of real sales really at all from that company on Black Friday and Cyber Monday is a little bit curious, just given the past 6 years of the company's history. So what does it mean that Arcade 1-Up didn't have a really big sale on things? Well, on the one hand, say, well, okay, they don't have to have a fire sale anymore because their stuff is selling. On the other hand, their stock is extremely limited now. When you look even back a year ago, they had, I think, 11 different deluxes for sale. That is not the case anymore. Any stock that you see right now that is not a Class of 81, a Pac-Man, or Mortal Kombat is likely stock from 2023. And we're not going to see any of those other cabs reissued. Like Fast and Furious is a great example. That is sold out almost everywhere, right? Even though that is a very popular cab. Arguably, that is the best cab they've made in a couple of years is Fast and Furious. There's still demand for that cab. I know I still want one. Can't buy one new because they did not make any new stock for 2024. That I do think is a bad sign. I think it's a bad sign that they're down to 1 or 2 pages of games that you can buy at Best Buy. At Kohl's, it's 1 page. That's not great news. That we haven't seen any kind of decent sale on cabs that are way overpriced, like Simpsons. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine that that's a good deal. Maybe they're just down to so few of them that it doesn't matter. We only have 5 left in stock, so go ahead, sell them at $700 for people who are desperate. But I don't know. I don't know that it makes much sense. Well, regardless, whatever the reason, we did not see any kind of a great sale this Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Who knows exactly why, or if that bodes good or ill for these companies, but we didn't. So, and I don't think we'll probably see any great sales between now and the start of next year. I think maybe in January you'll start to see some sales in mid to late January, but I don't think we're going to see any other kind of big old sale before Christmas. If we do, I'll let you guys know. All right, so that's going to wrap up this episode. If you do want to get that pub table, you probably ought to get it from Kohl's. If you want to get that pinball table from Toy Shock, that's available at Walmart. Pretty much everything else is maybe $100 off, but the deluxes are back up to $4.99, except for NBA Jam, which is down to I think $4.29. That's about it, guys. I don't have better news for you. All right, if you like content like this, give me a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Love each other. And until next time, I'll see you in Game Shack. Mwah!
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.